Bids are in, the gavel's dropped. Ladies and gentlemen, here at WineBid, we are finally hammered. That's right, this is WineBid's podcast dedicated to all things wine value, wine auctions, wine retail, and just wine. My name, of course, is Jeff McGurn here on the WineBid marketing team. With me, as always, is Paul Walker. He is the Oracle Sommelier of Napa.
Yeah, I got to stop you there because
the Oracle of Oakville.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Oracle of Oakville.
A sommelier in any shape or form. I've never had any
sommelier.
Professional sommelier training.
He's the wizard of wine.
It's bad enough that you call me an expert, but calling me an Oracle sommelier is just so far beyond accurate.
Hey, how about this? He's the wizard of wine. That's right. Paul Walker, our wine expert here.
Wizard of wine drinking, maybe. That's more accurate.
Well, it's open-ended. Today, we're going to be talking about the rest of the world. So everywhere outside of the United States and France, where just so much wine is produced. Let's go ahead and start off with Italy. We had a 99 Marchesi, Antinori Brunello di Montalcino, Pine de la Vigne.
Pian de la Vigne.
Pian de la Vigne. $70.
Great Brunello.
Yeah. 1999, got 24 years of age on it, 25 years next year, $70. I thought that seemed like a pretty good deal. We had 03 Tenuta del Ornellaia for $165. I thought that was a pretty good deal.
You can call it. You could just call it, Ornellaia. I think people will know what you're talking about. So.
Ornellaia. 1997 Giacomo Cantano Barolo Reservo Monfortino. This one for $990.
We're out of Tuscany.
We're out of Tuscany.
Okay, we're flying up and down the country here.
Flying up and down the country on a high-speed rail. They also have the 99 for $985 and the 01 for $950. We've got the 99 Vietti Barolo Reserva for $135. We also have the 90 Roche for $210.
Roche, it's a hard C, Jeff.
Roche. We've got the 99.
90. No, I saw, I thought the Vietti offerings this week were very interesting because
they were.
Yeah, the 99 Rivera at 135, I didn't think was expensive. The 90 Roque at 210 also, I didn't think. I mean, it's such an amazing vintage and
33 years of age on it. And those Barolos, they go the distance. Nebbiolo is an extremely tannic grape, right? So it'll go for a while.
But then the 96 Viero Reserva, Vilero, excuse me, not Viero. We're not in Spain. That is at 780. So you're paying a serious premium, excuse me, for the Reserva wines. But that's kind of always been the case with Vietti and obviously others. But yeah, and then do you see the 5 liter of the Perbacco, the Nebbiolo Perbacco?
No, was that?
Yeah, it's a 5 liter of 2010. It's not Barolo, it's the Longa Nebbiolo, but still 5 liter for $240. I thought that was a great bottle that's probably drinking fantastically right now.
Oh, for sure. We've got 99 Luciano Sandrone Barolo Sandrone. I should know this. I'm part Italian for $160. We've got the 09 Conterno Fontino Barolo Mosconi for $75. And we've got the Capolano Barolo Oten Fiorin Pi
It's Fiorin. I'm having a blast.
I'm really struggling right now. I'm not having an easy time. That one is $250.
Yeah, these Capolano wines are interesting too because the pricing does vary quite a bit for vintage and designation, and so I'm kind of curious because the 2000 is considerably more, but don't forget it's a slightly different wine from the 2010, the PA Rupestre. So I don't know. I'm kind of curious to know the differences here because, $375 for the 2000 versus $250 for the 2010 with that additional designation of PA Rupestris. What does it mean? I don't know. I'm not an expert, Jeff. Anyway, these Capolano wines are it's fun to see these because they do come in fairly often and the prices have been, consistently very high, but I feel like there's a little bit of I don't know, not a correction, but just kind of a steadying of some of the prices on these super collectible producers. Conterno too, it seems like they're all kind of around the same. I mean, Monfortino, they're all just under $1,000, for the 01, 99, and 97. I don't think they're going to get pushed up much beyond that, but we'll
famous
see.
last words. Like next week.
Who knows?
89 Roque de Manzoni Barolo Vigna Big Reserva.
Vigna Big, yeah, the big
Vigna
Reserva.
Big. For, that was a mag.
For a mag. It's cheap.
Yeah, that's a great deal.
Yeah,
I think that's a good deal. I'm gonna head back up to Tuscany, and the 1999 Luce della Vite Toscana Luce mag was 150, but that one wasn't bad.
And you had that wine? That's funny. Luce always cracks me up.
Oh, I have had Luce. Yeah, I have. Yes.
It's like one of those bottles you just see displayed in like large formats in questionable Italian restaurants in San Diego, let's just say.
Insane. For sure. Definitely. 2012, Pave Santa Restituta Brunello de Montesino made by Gaia for $70. I thought that was good. 11 years of age on it. And then I'm going to head out a bit of Tuscany. 2015, Amadeo Pepe Trebbiano di Abruzzo for $75. We got 22 of those. And this 2013, our Pepe Valtellina Superiore for $65. Actually,
that's interesting. So we were talking about these wines on our recap, right?
Because we had one in last week.
Yeah. And so I'm curious, like, what the deal is with this Valtellina Superiore. It's a different designation and it's quite a bit more. You said 65?
Yeah.
See, I'm so confused because like there's Rocca di Piro, there's Inferno Fiamme Antiche, and those are like on the $30 range. And then there's also Reservas, which are obviously higher. But anyway, there's a lot of actually our Pepe in auction right now.
A perfect time to pick some up if you're interested. No, I
just like to interrupt you and inject, meaningless drivel of my non-expertise.
Expert drivel is what you're interjecting. It's any drivel for me is expert drivel. All right, I'm going to give you that. What else?
This is cool. This wine, the wine you mentioned, the one new wine from ARPepe, excuse me, ARPEPE, if you will. It's a Valtellina Superiore, but it's a Reserva, Grumello Reserva Buon Consiglio, and in a soft shoulder bottle versus some of the others that are not, and has also got ragingly high scores. Did you see that? So I'm much more curious now even than before as to what these are all about. But it does have a bid on all three at looks like at 65. So
what else you got from Italy?
Let's see. So staying in Tuscany for the moment, there's a 3-liter of 09 Argiano Brunello, which I thought was very interesting. I love all these cool big bottles of Italian wines in this week. $215 for the 3-liter of the Argiano Brunello. Yeah, you mentioned the Emilio Pepe wines. Those are very collectible, very sommelier friendly, if you will. Cerasuolo d'Abruzzo, 29 bottles. Interesting quantity there. There's also 6 of the 14. Did you mention this already? Sorry if you did. The Montepulciano at 125. And then there's Trebbiano, if you like some expensive Trebbiano from Emilio Pepe. Although I think I actually had the 08 Montepulciano just a couple weeks ago, and it was excellent. It was just singing. It took a little while to open up, but it definitely was drinking well. So I think the 14 is a little young, but then the 15 Trebbiano is probably drinking great too. Might be a little young even for white wine there. So anyway, moving on. There's some Felsina Vinsanto, or one bottle, I should say, 500 milliliter, 97 at $45. That looks very enticing. I love Vinsanto. It's great, and it can age forever. 04 Montevertine, the Rosso. We always seem to bring up the Montevertine wines. Again, so it's kind of like a sommelier darling. And that's at 115 for the 04. It's just the Rosso. It's not the Pergola Tortre or anything. Oh, yeah. There's a bottle of 95 Soldera Reserva Brunello at 850. which stuck out this week. And that is, that's not going to be obviously anything less. I think that's probably what they're going for these days. I don't think the 95's actually been in for a while, but anyway, $8.50 for that particular Brunello. Now moving up to Piedmont, we mentioned the Capilano wines, the Conterno Monfortinos, super collectible, the 99 Sandrone Lavigne. Let's see, and I think that was there's another big bottle, a 3 liter of Protetore 11, just the Barbaresco, which I thought was great for $3.30. And then we mentioned the Rocca di Manzoni, the Vietti wines, the Perbacco 5 liter. And I think that rounds it out. I'm pretty sure that's all I had for Italy.
All right, then let's travel.
Oh, actually, you know what? One more from Fiudi San Gregorio. It's another interesting sweet wine. 001 Privilegio for 500 milliliter for $40 reserve. I thought that was cool because we see the Serpico and other wines from Fiudi San Gregorio pretty often, but the Privilegio not so often. And so that stuck out to me as being an interesting late harvest wine.
All right, then. Let's take a jaunt on over to Deutschland. 2016, Jojas Prum, Grieche Himmelreich, Spätlese Nummer 2 for $40. I thought that was.
I like how you call it the AP number in German too. That's for that added level of authenticity.
Exactly. Yeah. That's that's just how I roll. I like to pronounce everything right to the T. 2007,
specifically Germany, and the rest of the world, forget it.
Not so much. Yeah, the rest of the world, not so much. 2007, Jojas Prum, Wilner, Sonnenur, Riesling Auslese number 22. That one is 85.
There's a ton of. I didn't even realize how much.
There's a ton of Jojas
in this week. There's like 56 items. There's like many cases. That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of really good stuff. 03 Donhoff, Norheimer, Delchen, Riesling Auslese number 18. That one is $70. 05 Selbach Oster, Zettlinger, Schlossberg, Riesling Auslese number 1 star, number 29. 2 of those for $45. I actually thought that was a pretty good deal. This one, 1990, Schloss Schönborn, Hoddenheimer, Pfaffenberg, Riesling Auslese number 47. This one is only $50, and it's got 33 years of age on it. And then another one from 90, Joss Christoffel Jr., Singer, Würzgarten, Riesling Auslese, 3 star, number 10, for $75. We've got 2 of those. All this stuff I think is a tremendous deal for wine that is especially everything I listed was a Spätlese or an Auslese. Actually, it was all Ausleses with the exception of one Spätlese. Those Ausleses go forever.
Yeah.
So even at 33 years, you may be drinking some of those a little bit too young, right? So I just thought those were tremendous deals for the price. None of those over $100. Great age, phenomenal producers, and just amazing wine.
Yeah, no, it's true. The other one that stuck out to me, you skipped over the Donhoff Magnum of Grosses Gewachs. I saw that was cool. The 19 at 130, compelling thing there. And then, tons of great Christoffel wines. There's also Peter Lauer, which we seem to bring up pretty often because they get a lot of bidding activity in our recaps. But anyway, there's a couple of the 18 Spätleses with bids, it looks like, at 31. So lots of amazing choice right now of German wines for sure.
Let's head over to Spain, España. I only had one pick from Spain, the 1972 Bodegas Toro Albala Don Pedro Jimenez Gran Reserva. There's a 375 milliliter of for $90. I actually thought that's a pretty good deal because you're looking at 51 years of age on Pedro Jimenez, which is going to be stinging right now. I've had some Pedro Jimenez from the 40s, and God, that stuff is so good.
Yeah,
it's so
it lasts
incredibly
a long time. This is cool too because 72 is a challenging year, and it's hard to find great wines from 72. I think that that are still holding up well. There are obviously always some outliers and and things. But that's a great choice for anniversary or birth year or whatever. There's a Magapingus in this week. I flagged the 03 at 1180, and then there's a Murrieta Reserva 09 at 150, which is pretty cool too. And then there's this wine I never heard of, Heredad Ugarte Crianza 5 liter for 125, which seems like a good deal.
Let's head over to Österreich, which is German for Austria. A bunch of stuff actually in this week from Austria. We have 13 items coming in from Austria. Well, more than 13 items, but we have this Alois Krecher wines. We've got 13 of them, and there are all these Trockenbeeren Ausleses, but it's like, different grape varietals. Looks like we've got some Muscats, we've got some of their Grand Cuvée, we've got some Chardonnay, but all these 375 milliliter Trockenbeeren Ausleses, everything for under $100. Right. And they're from like late 90s, early 2000s. I thought those were all really, really cool. And I'll bet you those are absolutely stunningly delicious and probably can even lay down for another decade or 5.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. I think, these are interesting wines. I haven't really tasted these in quite a while, but yeah, you're right. All sorts of different examples. Right.
And there's a 2000 Weingut Null.
Yeah, I saw the Null Trockenbeeren
of Gruner Veltliner, which I thought was cool. We have 2 of those for 80, and those are 500 milliliters. But just some really cool stuff from Austria. I'm going to go ahead and head over to Portugal, jumping around a bit. We've got an 18. We have a bunch of stuff coming in from Portugal this week, but I'm only going to mention a few. We had an 1863 Barbito Reserva Madeira. Worth $1,360. So if you know someone who was born in 1863 and their 160th birthday is coming up.
That's impressive.
If you have a friend who's having their 160th birthday this year, this wine is for them. And then we've got an 1880. And by the way, the Civil War was still happening in the United States when that wine was made, which is pretty cool. 1885. I mean, the Civil War is not cool. Let me just be very clear. I'm not saying the Civil War is cool. I'm just saying to have one that was made during the Civil War is cool. The Civil War was a terrible
Jeff's warmongering personality comes out.
Yes, I'm not a warmonger. War is, it's always a terrible thing, even if the end result of the war was good. 1885, Barbiero Reserva Vella Malvasina Madeira for $1,500. So actually, if you get the 1863 wine, you'll actually be paying a little bit less, save some money, and get that birthday bottle for the 160-year-old friend of yours.
So we've got. There was even an older
1837. Oscar Asialo Special Boal Reserva Madeira for $39.95. There's just a bevy of old port and Madeira coming to auction. 83 grams, $75.
I wanted to mention the 70 crofts that are in. Those actually came out of original cases, and they were bought on release. Again, I actually picked these wines up and was familiar with the provenance. So yeah, they were sealed since release. Actually, I think the owner bought them at retail in like 1970. I don't remember when, like mid 70s or late 70s or something.
Let's head over to Hungary because we have a bunch of Hungarian wines coming into auction. I'm just going to list off some of these because I think they're really interesting. 99 Chateau Hajzos Tokai for 500 milliliters for $90. 2000 Grof Degenfeld Tokai 500 milliliters for $50. We got 3 of those. This one was interesting. In 1993, Dis Zonko Tokai Essencia 500 milliliters for $505. This is some really good Tokai.
Yeah, Essencia's that stuff. We've actually had this in before. This wine's definitely sold in the past. 93 too is phenomenal vintage, and yeah, Essencia's that's as good as it gets for Tokai. Serious stuff.
Serious stuff. 2000 Chateau Derezla Tokai 500 milliliters for $65, and 2000 Chateau Henye Tokai Asu 500 milliliters for $50. I think Tokai's phenomenal wine. We've got, I mean, this stuff has all been aged quite a bit, and the prices are all pretty reasonable, all things considered. And then I'd love to run us over to Chile for one wine that I know you had your eye on, and I know you love this stuff because it was number 3 on Wine Spectator's Top 100 list in 2003. That's right, the 2000 Casa La Postole Apalta Proprietary Red for $95. We got 2 of those. And that was the only thing I had from Chile. And then from Australia, an 01 Torbreck Rig Run for $215. We've got 2 of those. Anything I missed from around the world before we wrap up, Paul?
Yeah, actually, there was one wine I flagged kind of along the theme of a lot of really good dessert wines in this week. In Australia, there's a Trevor Jones Old Muscat at 35 for half bottle. I've had this wine a few times, actually. I have a sweet tooth, so actually I love late harvest and dessert wines, but it's really, really, really good. There's a bunch of other, like those Chambers wines, which they're Muscat and Special Tokai and all these different designations, but both from Bowler and Chambers. But I don't know, the viscosity on some of those is pretty intense, but I prefer the Trevor Jones version because it wasn't quite as like unctuous and syrupy. It was really, really delicious, actually. I really liked it a lot. And I thought it was a great deal, actually, $35 for half bottle. So that was my sole Aussie pick.
Well, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the rest of the world for us. With WineBid's Finally Hammered, this has been Jeff McGurn and the Wizard of Wine, Paul Walker, our wine expert, wishing you happy bidding and good luck. And actually, sorry, cheers. Not even good luck. Cheers.
Good.
Have whatever luck you need. Just
happy bidding.
Enjoy some good wine.
Cheers.